Fireman Sam, Peppa Pig, and Officer Steele had just finished a day's work. When Officer Steele says, "Fireman Sam, look at the building. The office is full of dirt." So Peppa and Fireman Sam turned round to have a look and said, "Wow, that's really dirty. How is it so dirty?" And Officer Steele said, "I'm not sure how it's so dirty, but we think we need to clean it up," said Officer Steele. So Peppa Pig went off to get a ladder. And she comes back with a really cool ladder and puts it up against the fire station. So slowly but surely, Peppa Pig starts to clean it. It looks like a Play-Doh mud. Oh no, Peppa Pig fell over. "Come on, Peppa, get up." So Fireman Sam goes up the ladder, and the ladder falls down. And Peppa said, "Oh no, I think we better place it into a different position." So with a helping hand, the ladder is placed in a safe position. And now they need to get on top of the roof, because there's a load of dirt on top. Who's going to go up? So Peppa climbs up the ladder and cleans part of the roof and goes to the top and cleans that bit. And Fireman Sam said, "I think we need to clean the mess up after us as well, Peppa." So the fire station is looking a lot better now, but there's still some bits that need to be done. So Officer Steele gives a helping hand and gets the bits that he can get without the ladder. And Officer Steele said, "There's one more part on top of the roof that we need to get, Fireman Sam. Can you get it for me?" So Fireman Sam goes up the ladder, walks along the roof just to get the last part. Now, you have to be very careful doing this because it's dangerous. But Fireman Sam is an experienced fireman, so he knows what he's doing. So Officer Steele, Fireman Sam, and Peppa Pig all help to clean the fire station. Play-Doh can be such a messy thing sometimes, said Peppa Pig. But we did a great job together, working as a team to clean the station. And now look at the fire station. It looks perfect. And it'll be ready for our next day's work tomorrow. So it's time to go home now, and everyone's really happy with their day's work. George was on top of the fire station, hiding from Peppa and Fireman Sam. Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig can't see George behind them on top of the fire engine, and they had just got back from finishing a day's work. When Peppa said to Fireman Sam, "Fireman Sam, we had a great day today. We saved a cat, we put out 3 fires, we saved a forest fire, all with Jupiter." Fireman Sam said, "I know, we had a really good day. It's always nice to help people out when you can," said Fireman Sam. And Fireman Sam said, "I wonder where George is." Peppa said, "George, normally waiting for us at the end of the day." And meanwhile, George is giggling on top of the fire station. And he's hiding. George loves to hide from Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig. So Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig spot George on top of the fire station. And Peppa Pig said, "Look, Fireman Sam, there's George up there." And Fireman Sam said, "What are you doing up there, George? Come down." And Peppa said, "Can you get down, George?" And George said, "No. I think I'm stuck, guys. Do you think you can help me?" So in comes Batman to save the day, because Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig haven't got their ladders. And Fireman Sam said, "Batman, can you save George for us? He's been a silly boy and hid on top of the fire station." So Batman said, "I've got this. Come on, George, jump on top." So with a helping hand, George jumps on the back of Batman. And Batman has to be very careful that he doesn't drop George on the way down. So Batman comes down slowly with George on his back. And he said, "Come on, George, jump off, boy." So once Batman and George are on the floor, George can then get off the back of Batman. And Batman said, "George, what are you doing up there? It's really dangerous if it's easy to get up somewhere, but getting down is another story. You've got to be safe." And Peppa said, "You're so naughty sometimes, George. I know you're doing it just to have a bit of fun, but you have to have fun safely." George said, "I know, I'm sorry, guys." So Batman said, "Be safe. And listen to Peppa and Fireman Sam, George. They both know what they're talking about." And Fireman Sam said, "Have you got anything to say to Batman, George?" And George says to Batman, "Thanks, Batman, for saving the day." So everyone's safe now, and Batman can leave and do some more good deeds. And Peppa said, "At least you're safe, George. Come on, we'll go home, and then Fireman Sam can go home and we can all relax tonight, knowing everyone's safe. Don't forget to subscribe." Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig were upstairs in the fire station when Fireman Sam said to Peppa, "We better go downstairs, Peppa, and go outside to see Tom Thomas. He's got something to show us." So Fireman Sam makes his way down the fireman's pole, and he says, "Come on, Peppa, it's your turn now. Don't be scared. You know you'll enjoy it." So Peppa gets onto the pole, and down Peppa goes as well. "Whee!" she says, "that's loads of fun." So Peppa and Fireman Sam were downstairs, and they need to go into Venus to go outside. And outside should be Tom Thomas with his surprise for Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig. So Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig drive outside when they say, "Where's Tom Thomas?" Peppa says, "There he is now. He's coming over," said Peppa. So Tom Thomas drives next to the fire station and said, "Hey guys, look what I got. I've got another Venus. And we'll call this one Venus 2. This can help us when we've got fires to tackle that just one can't cope with." So Fireman Sam gets out with a helping hand and goes over to see it and said, "Wow, that's almost identical to the one we already got." And then Tom Thomas said, "Yeah, it's exactly the same. And I think it looks really cool having two of these packed next to each other. And it'll be great for when we need to fight fires together, so we can use two of them at the same time." So Peppa said to Tom Thomas, "Tom Thomas, are you going to drive that one?" And Tom Thomas said, "Yeah, this is going to be my one for when Fireman Sam needs a helping hand with some fires to put out. Especially in the forest, this will come up really handy." So Tom Thomas, Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig were really happy they got Postman Pat Venuses. And Jess were driving along in the van on a delivery when all of a sudden the van bursts into flames. So Jess jumps out and runs away from the van and stands by the school. Meanwhile, Postman Pat tries to get out as well. And Postman Pat seems to be stuck in the van. He's rushing. All he needs to do is calm down and get away from the van quickly. So finally he gets out of the van and he runs over to Jess, and he's on the phone to Fireman Sam, and he says, "Fireman Sam, quick, we need your help now. Bring Peppa with you as well. Peppa Pig." So Postman Pat and Jess wait for Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig to get to the scene. So here they come now. But they bring Jupiter, Fireman Sam's fire engine. So what they do, they jump out of the fire engine, and they need to be quick. So they need to put this one out with the hose. So Fireman Sam jumps out and goes, "Postman Pat, are you okay?" "As long as you and Jess are okay, that's the main thing." So Peppa gets out and says, "Fireman Sam, shall we use the hose for this one?" And Fireman Sam said, "Yeah, great idea." So with a helping hand, the van is placed at the right spot, right next to the van that's on fire. So with a helping hand again, Peppa Pig gets the hose out. So the hose comes out, and who's going to put it out? It's Peppa Pig's turn to put the fire out. So Peppa grabs the hose, and slowly but surely the fire goes out. And once the fire's out, the fire drops to the floor, and the van is saved. And Jess can't believe that Peppa put it out so quick. Fireman Sam said, "Great job, Peppa." And Postman Pat is really happy that Peppa saved his van, because Postman Pat loves his van. So what they do now is they clean the mess up from the fire, with a helping hand, of course. Jess is staring at the van and is really happy that the van is saved. So Peppa comes over and says, "There you go, Postman Pat, your van's all safe now, you can get on to your special deliveries." And Postman Pat can't thank Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig enough. At least everyone's safe and the van is saved. That's the main thing. Fireman Sam was just getting ready to go and pick up some of his friends. So he jumps onto Neptune, straps himself in, and off he goes to pick up some of his friends. Who's he going to pick up? So over he goes to the fire station. And at the fire station there's Mickey Mouse and Peppa Pig. Will they both get on? So Peppa said, "Hey Fireman Sam." "Hey Mickey, how are you?" said Fireman Sam. And Mickey Mouse said, "Wow, what a cool boat you've got, Fireman Sam. Can I come on?" So he jumps on, and Fireman Sam said, "Where are we going?" "Let's go to Mickey's caravan," said Peppa. So off they go to Mickey Mouse's caravan. And at the caravan is Pluto. So Mickey and Pluto gets really excited, and Pluto said, Look, it's Fireman Sam." So Mickey gets off and said, "Oh, thanks Fireman Sam for dropping me off. I'll see you soon." So off Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig go to the office. So at the office, there's Officer Steele. So Peppa jumps off, leaving Fireman Sam to park the boat safely next to the office. And when they're at the office, they're just waiting for another job. So Officer Steele said, "It's been quite quiet today, guys. So it's just a time of waiting around and hoping everyone's safe. But we're ready to go to a rescue if need be." Don't forget to subscribe. George is stuck up a tree. How did he get up there? So George shouts, "Fireman Sam, Peppa Pig, help!" And George repeats this several times. Finally, Peppa Pig and Fireman Sam turn up. And Fireman Sam said, "Look, it's George. He's stuck up a tree." So Peppa Pig reverses the fire engine and lowers the ladder onto the tree. Meanwhile, Fireman Sam gets out of the passenger seat and tries to calm George down, saying, "George, don't worry. Me and Peppa will get you down safely." So Fireman Sam said, "Come on, Peppa. Jump on top of the ladder and see if you can reach George." So Peppa climbs onto the ladder step by step, being very careful, and said, "Right, George, I'm going to get you." So with a helping hand, George and Peppa climb down from the tree safely. And George is relieved. So Fireman Sam said, "Good work, Peppa. You got George back safely. That's a great job you just did." So Fireman Sam, George and Peppa Pig are all safe. And Fireman Sam said, "What was you doing up there, George?" And George replied, saying, "I thought it'd be fun to climb up onto the tree. It was easy to get up, but I just couldn't get back down. I was too scared." And then Peppa said, "The only things you're allowed to climb up, George, are the ladders to go down the slide. Now go and give that a go and see if it's any more fun than climbing up a tree." "Up there," Peppa said. So George makes his way, climbs up the ladder and goes down the slide. And he said, "Whee! That was loads of fun." And then Fireman Sam said to George, "See, George, if you climb up something like a slide, you can get back down safely, because you go up the steps and down the slide. You can't climb up something like a tree unless it's a tree house." George said, "I know, guys, I'm really sorry. Thanks for saving me. So everyone is safe." Mickey Mouse and Pluto had just served up the barbecue food and were just starting to eat the food. Pluto's really excited at this point, when all of a sudden Mickey looks up to the top of the camper van and realizes the barbecue is way too close. So the camper van is caught on fire. So Mickey moves out of the way, Pluto moves out of the way, and Mickey said, "What are we going to do, Pluto?" And as you can see, the fire is spread to the top of the camper van. So Mickey said, "Right, I'll have to phone Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig. It's the only option I got. I can't put this out myself." So once he's phoned Peppa Pig and Fireman Sam, Peppa Pig rushed to the scene. "Pluto, move out of the way, boy." So Pluto jumps out of the way of the fire engine. Here's Peppa Pig and Fireman Sam in the fire engine. With a helping hand, the table's moved out of the way. So Fireman Sam needs to get out of the fire engine to assess the situation, because the fire can spread really quick if they're not quick enough. So Fireman Sam gets out and says, "Right, Peppa, you're going to have to position the ladder so I can get up and put the fire out myself. Thanks for calling us, Mickey." Mickey said, "I'm just really happy to see you guys." So Peppa Pig puts the ladder to the right angle, and Fireman Sam goes up. So he's put one fire out. "Right, Peppa Pig, come on, let's do this. 2 more to do." So Peppa Pig positions the ladder for Fireman Sam so he can get the second fire. She puts the second fire out. "Right, just 1 more now, Peppa." said Fireman Sam. You can do this. So Fireman Sam puts the last fire out and said, great job, Peppa. Your positioning was perfect. So Fireman Sam jumps down off a ladder. Peppa Pig then parks the fire engine up. There's still a little, you can see the fire on the floor now, so we need to clean that up. So with a helping hand, the fire is cleaned up. Pluto was really thankful that Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig came to the rescue today. And Peppa said, Mickey, you put the barbecue way too close to the camper van this time. And Mickey said, I know, guys, I'm really sorry. I didn't think about the camper van catching fire like that. And Fireman Sam said, it's all just a learning curve. So Mickey said, come on guys, we've still got the food from the barbecue, shall we eat it? And Fireman Sam said, that'd be great. So everyone finished the barbecue. The barbecue. Mickey Mouse and Pluto just parked the camper van. So they get out of the chair. Oh no, Pluto fell over with excitement getting out. So Mickey got out and said, come on Pluto, let's have a barbecue. So what should we do? So with a helping hand, the barbecue is set up, and the barbecue has corn, burgers, cheese and sausages on it. So Mickey moves the barbecue into position. Pluto, grab the table, Mickey said. So Pluto goes over and drags the table over. So Mickey said to Pluto, Pluto, this is a bit boring on our own. Should we invite some friends over? So Pluto got really excited. So Mickey went over to the phone to ring a couple of friends. Who will he ring? Pluto can't wait to see who comes over. So Mickey has a long list of really good friends, but I wonder who will come. Everyone loves a barbecue. So Mickey said, Pluto, I've asked a few friends to come over. Can you guess who they are? So in comes Fireman Sam. Hey Fireman Sam, Mickey said. How are you? I'm great, Fireman Sam said. And it's Dora the Explorer. Who else will come? Dora goes over to Pluto and smooths him. Who's next? Said Fireman Sam. And in comes Peppa Pig. Oh no, Peppa scared Mickey. And Mickey said, wow, you got me then, Peppa. You really scared me. So Peppa, Fireman Sam and Dora are the friends that Mickey phoned for the barbecue. So on the barbecue today they're having burgers, corn and sausages. Peppa goes to the table. So does Fireman Sam. And Dora goes to the table as well. So Pluto gets really excited because he knows he's going to get the sausages. So Mickey goes over to the fridge to get some drinks for Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig. So he opens the fridge, gets a couple of drinks out and places them on the table and said, here you go Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig. Dora, don't forget to get yours, said Mickey. So Mickey, Peppa Pig, Fireman Sam, Pluto and Dora all settled down to have a really nice barbecue. And Mickey's really happy because all his best friends have turned up for the barbecue. Bananas in Pajamas had just set out their new house and just moved in when B2 said to B1, B1, "Who's coming round today?" And B1 said, "It's a surprise for you, B2. And then B2 gets really excited and says, "I wonder who it can be." B2 said, "Oh, it's Peppa Pig." So Peppa comes in and said, "Hey guys, how are you today?" And George comes in and says, "Hey B1, hey B2. Really nice furniture you got. Can I try it out?" said Peppa Pig. So Peppa jumps on the sofa. And George said, "I want to play too." So George jumps on the sofa as well. And said, "Wow, these are really comfy, guys. They're really nice. And I love the colour red," said Peppa Pig. So B1 and B2 said, "Come and have a look at our kitchen out by here. This is also a dining room as well, where we eat our breakfast," said B2. "Wow, cool cooker, B2. Do you cook all your food in here?" And B1 said, "No, we got a barbecue outside as well. But let's go upstairs into the bedroom." So B1 goes upstairs, followed by George, Peppa, and B2. So George follows B1. Up the stairs he goes, followed by Peppa Pig, and up the stairs she goes. B2 said, "Don't forget me, guys." "Come on," B1 shouted. "Come on, B2. Hurry up." So once upstairs, B1 and B2 shows them the beds. And the beds have cool Play-Doh blankets. So George jumped in and said, "Wow, we've got these at our place. Mommy Pig made them for us, remember?" Peppa said, "Yeah, they're really good and they keep you really warm." So George spots pictures on the wall and said, "Cool pictures, guys. Did you do them?" B1 said, "Yeah, we did them in school when we was kids." So after they'd finished seeing the bedroom and the Play-Doh blankets, B1 and B2 said, "Thanks Peppa, thanks George for coming round to see our new house." And Peppa said, "That's fine. I'd love you to come round again sometime, maybe with some more friends." Grandpa and Peppa Pig were just heading home on the boat, and it's really windy today and really unstable for the boat, so they're trying to get back to port quickly. When all of a sudden Grandpa says, "Hold on, Peppa," and the boat tips over. And Grandpa said, "Just hold on, Peppa. I don't know what to do, but just hold on, do not leave go." When all out of nowhere, Batman turns up. So Batman said, "Hold on, guys, I'll save you now." So Batman pushes the boat back upright, and he goes behind the boat to hold on to it, to stable it in this windy conditions. And he said, "Are you guys alright?" Peppa said, "Wow, where did you come from, Batman?" And Batman said, "I'm always watching over you." So Batman's doing a great job at stabling the boat in these really windy conditions so the boat doesn't topple over anymore. And when things finally settle down a little bit, we have Peppa and Grandpa, who are really shooken up by being tipped over in the boat. And Peppa said, "Thanks, Batman, you really saved us today. You did a great job." Batman said, "It's all in the day's work, guys. And you're my friends, so why wouldn't I save you?" "Oh," Grandpa said, "is there anything we could do for you?" And Batman said, "Yeah, there is actually. You could take me to town on the boat. And Peppa and Grandpa said, "What a great idea, Batman. We'll take you in on the boat now the weather is nice." So everyone's safe thanks to Batman. And Batman did a great deed today. He saved Peppa and Grandpa. "Don't forget to subscribe," said Peppa. Dora and her teacher was outside the school when Dora said to the teacher, "Hey miss, do you mind if some of my friends come to have a look at the school today?" And in comes Peppa Pig, saying, "Hey Dora, hey miss, how are you?" "Where's George?" Dora said. "Here he is," said the teacher. So Peppa said to the teacher, "Miss, do you mind if we come into the school to see Dora's classroom?" And the teacher said, "That's a great idea, Peppa Pig. Do you want to bring George with you?" So they all walk into the school. Oh no, Peppa falls over in excitement. So after Peppa got all excited, Dora shows Peppa around the school. She goes, "Here's the laptop and my desk." So Peppa goes over and jumps on the chair and said, "Wow, what a cool laptop you've got, Dora." And George said, let me see. So George goes over to have a look as well. "What a cool laptop." And Dora said, "Yeah, that's where I watch my videos. I do my schoolwork." So next, Dora says, "Come around by here. Come and look at this cheeky little monkey picture that I got." And the teacher said, "Yeah, Dora did this yesterday in school." "Wow," Peppa said. "What a cool picture." And George said, "It looks just like me, don't you think, Peppa?" And Peppa said, "Don't be silly, George. That's a cheeky little monkey." So Dora says, "There's also a cool music room upstairs. Would you like to see that, Peppa and George?" And the teacher said, "If you're going upstairs, be careful." So Dora goes round the side and walks upstairs. And Peppa and George follow. So once they're upstairs, they're in the music room. And in the music room, they've got a music book, a guitar, and this is where they sing songs and write music. So George goes over and sees what's on the writing pad. That's a song that Dora wrote in school yesterday. Dora said, "Do you want me to sing it to you?" And Peppa said, "No, Dora, we won't sing today. Maybe next time I come to the school we can have a sing-song." Peppa and George love the music room. So Dora says, "Let's go downstairs and see Miss. We can say bye to her then." So Peppa, George and Dora all go downstairs. And Peppa and George thank the teacher for letting them come into the school to have a look around. And Dora said, "Thanks guys for coming round." And the teacher said, "That's fine, you're welcome anytime. You're really good kids." So Peppa, George and Dora loved the little classroom tour. And they had a really cool day at Dora's school. Mommy and Daddy Pig were having a barbecue outside the house. And Daddy Pig was cooking fish, corn and eggs. So Daddy set up the barbecue while Mommy set up the table. So once the table and the barbecue is all set up, the fish were cooking well, and Daddy spots that he's put the barbecue way too close to the house, and the house has caught fire. Oh no! said Mommy and Daddy Pig. "What are we going to do now?" So Daddy Pig rushes off, and Mommy Pig goes safe as well. And Daddy Pig phones Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig, and he says, "Peppa, quick! Grab Fireman Sam and head over to the house. We need you fast." So Daddy Pig moves the table out of the way and stays a safe distance from the fire. So in comes Peppa and Fireman Sam. Now who's going to go and put the fire out? Fireman Sam said, "I'll do it. It's my turn today." So Fireman Sam said, "Guys, are you okay, Mommy and Daddy Pig?" Mommy and Daddy Pig said, "Yeah, we are fine, but save our house, quick!" And then Peppa Pig needs to raise the ladder up to the house so Fireman Sam can get up there and chuck some water over it. Oh no, Fireman Sam has fallen over in excitement. So Fireman Sam goes up the ladder and chucks water on the fire. "That's one down," Fireman Sam said. "Can you position it into the second window, Peppa?" So Peppa Pig is great at driving the fire engine and is making the job easy for Fireman Sam to go up the ladder and put each fire out individually. "So that's two," said Fireman Sam. "Let's go and do the third one." So up the ladder he goes, step by step, and he's put the third fire out. "You're doing a great job, Peppa. Last one now," said Fireman Sam. And Mommy and Daddy Pig can't believe how good Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig work together. "Wow, look at that. It's all out now," said Daddy Pig. Fireman Sam and Peppa have done a great job of putting the fire out. And Fireman Sam said, "Great job, Peppa. You did a great job driving." So now the fire's out. Fireman Sam can jump off the fire engine and see if Mommy and Daddy Pig are okay. And they're both fine. And Daddy Pig said, "It was all my fault. I put the barbecue way too close to the house. So the fire caught onto the house. It's all my fault," Daddy Pig said. And Fireman Sam said, "Accidents do happen, Daddy Pig. You know, you'll never make that decision again." So Mommy Pig said, "Seems to you boys, do you want to have your food now, Daddy Pig and Fireman Sam?" Peppa said, "Yeah, I'd love to have food as well, Mommy Pig. So let's not waste the food, and we'll all have our food together as a thank you for saving our house." Peppa Pig is really happy that Daddy Pig phoned her first. So everyone sat down around the table to have their food, and the main thing is everyone's safe. Accidents do happen. Don't forget to subscribe. Grandpa Pig has come over with a new boat to show Peppa Pig. So Peppa Pig said, "Wow, Grandpa, what a cool boat you've got." So Peppa jumps on top and plays with the bell and said, "Wow, cool bell, Grandpa. You got a bucket. It's really cool up here. I can see everything. Nice hat too. Got a pirate's flag as well on the back, which is really cool. And you got these cool little places for me and George to sit in." So with a helping hand we turn the boat around, and then we can see the other side. So we've got rope and an anchor, and we've got these cool peepholes to see through. So Grandpa said, "Wow, why don't you get changed, Peppa? Look who's there. It's Fireman Sam on Neptune, the boat." So Fireman Sam comes over on his boat to see Grandpa's boat. And Fireman Sam said, "Wow, you've got such a big boat, Grandpa. How long have you had it?" And Grandpa said, "I've just picked it up this morning." "It's really cool," said Fireman Sam. Fireman Sam suggested Peppa Pig goes and gets a life jacket on. Then maybe we can go out with Grandpa on the boat. So Peppa goes off to get the life jacket. And Fireman Sam said, "Go on then, Peppa, go." So Peppa went off to go to put the life jacket on and comes back with the life jacket on. So now she can be super safe when they go out on Grandpa's boat together. So Fireman Sam jumps on the boat and sits down at the front. And Grandpa said, "Come on, Peppa, jump in." So Peppa jumps in the front as well with Fireman Sam. "Where should we go?" Grandpa said. Peppa said, "As long as we guys together, we can have loads of fun." Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig loved Grandpa's new boat, and now they get to go out in it to see what it can do on the open water. Where will they go? What will they do? Only they really know. But I'm sure they'll have fun wherever they go. "Don't forget to subscribe," said Peppa.
Went out to the cafe. And what did they go out to get? Peppa said, "What should we get, George?" And George said, "Let's get a Play-Doh cup cake." "A Play-Doh cupcake," said Peppa. "We'd better go in to see what they got then." So with a helping hand, they open the door and they head inside. Once inside, George and Peppa see a really cool blue Play-Doh cupcake, and it's got a little bear on top. Said George, "Let's take this one." So Peppa said, "Look, we can put some cool stuff on top. What have we got? We've got a bear, a star, and a seashell." So George said, "What are you going to put on, Peppa?" "First of all, we'll place the seashell on top. We'll put another blue bear on, and we'll put a star on the side of the cupcake this time." And George said, "Wow, that looks really tasty." "Shall we cut it in half?" said Peppa Pig, "so we can have half each?" George said, "That's a fantastic idea." So with a helping hand, we cut into the Play-Doh cupcake so they can share it equally. "Because we have to share," said George. "Wow, that looks really tasty," said Peppa. So Peppa will get the side with the green bear on, and George, because his favourite colour is blue, will get all of the blue sweets on top. And then George said, "What are we going to do with these now, Peppa?" And Peppa said, "Let's take them home to show Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig." So come on, George, let's go home and show Mommy and Daddy. I'm sure they'll want some. So Peppa and George had a great day at the Play-Doh Cupcake Cafe.
Grandad Dog and Peppa Pig were at the garage when Peppa said, "What are we doing now, Grandad?" Grandad replied, saying, "We're waiting for a special delivery from Postman Pat." So Peppa gets really excited and said, "What is it? What is it?" And Grandad said, "You'll have to wait and see, Peppa." Oh, Peppa can't wait to see Postman Pat and Jess, the black and white cat. Grandad Dog says, "Here's Postman Pat now, Peppa. And Jess is in there as well." "No, Postman Pat, come back." "Oh, hi guys. I forgot I got your special delivery." And Postman Pat seems to be leaning on Jess. So with a helping hand, Postman Pat gets out of his van and said, "Hi Grandad, hi Peppa, how are you?" Peppa and Grandad are great. Meanwhile, Jess jumps out of the car onto the bonnet and can't wait to see Peppa. And so Peppa calls Jess over. And Jess goes over and sees Peppa and Grandad Dog. So what have you got for us, Postman Pat? Is it my tyre machine? So Postman Pat said, give me a minute, I'll go and get it. So Postman Pat goes up and gets the special delivery, which is the tyre machine. Wow, that was really heavy, Postman Pat said. Peppa said, that's such a big machine, Grandad. What's it for? It's to pump the tyres up on the cars or bikes, said Grandad Dog. Postman Pat said, oh, you wouldn't mind pumping up my tyres, would you, Grandad Dog? I think they're a little bit low. So with a helping hand, the van is moved into place with Postman Pat inside. And Grandad Dog can then pump the tyres up on Postman Pat's red van. So Grandad pumps the tyres up and said, all done now, Postman Pat. And Postman Pat said, oh, thanks, Grandad Dog. That'll really help with my deliveries today. So Postman Pat calls Jess back. Come on, Jess, jump back in. So Jess jumps in and goes through the front window. So Postman Pat's really happy now. He's seen Grandad Dog and Peppa, and he's had his tyres pumped up. So Grandad and Peppa were left to look at the new machine. So now the garage is for— oh no! Grandad fell over. Are you alright, Grandad? Said Peppa. I'm fine, said Grandad Dog. So now the garage is full. Peppa with Pig, 3 big machines, George, and Thomas the Tank. Subscribe. Headed down the shop, and they go in to pick up some Shopkins. This is a collection of really cool characters with fruit and veg, cakes, sweets, pantry, party food, health and beauty, frozen characters, and of course we've got our limited edition. So Peppa opens the door and they go into the shop. So Peppa gets the trolley. Thomas says, should we get the both of them? So we'll get 4 characters. And George said, yeah, that's a cool idea. So George goes in and pays for the 2 Shopkins. So Peppa pushes the trolley out of the way, and George comes out. Peppa said, I can't wait to see what characters we get today. Hopefully we'll get a rare one. Oh no, Peppa fell over in excitement. George said, are you okay, Peppa? Peppa said, yeah, I'm great. I just fell over. I just get too excited sometimes. So obviously, with a helping hand, we'll open the Shopkins and we'll see what we get. And we'll get 2 characters in each basket. Thomas said, I hope we get some rare ones. It'd be really cool if you got something special, said George. So as we open the basket, we'll see the characters inside. And the characters come in 2 little blue bags, said Thomas. And Peppa said, yeah, that's the same colour as you, Thomas, and George's jumper, blue. So that's 1 for George and 1 for Peppa. So let's open our first one and see what we get. Wow! Our first one is Flutter Cake. Number 38, said George. So let's open the second Shopkins and see what we get in this one. Hopefully we get something special. And Peppa said, wow, that's Chap Ellie, number 117. 177. And that one's rare. Wow, that's pretty cool, said Thomas. I wonder what we'll get in our second basket. So with a helping hand, of course, we open the second basket. What will we find? Said George. We're going to take these home to show Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig later on. So opening the third Shopkins, we find Rainbow Bite number 84, said George. And what's the last one? Will it be special? It most certainly is, said Thomas. It's Spilt Milk number 67, which is a rare one. Wow, what a cool collection you got. So Thomas comes round to have a look at the collection and says, wow, we got some really good pulls today. So Peppa, George and Thomas are really happy with the Shopkins they found. Just finished a day's work. Don't forget to subscribe, said Peppa. When Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig spot some of their friends, which is Thomas and Percy. Percy and Thomas say, hey guys, how are you? Peppa said, we just finished work. Thomas and Percy said, you haven't seen Postman Pat about, have you? We're waiting for a special delivery from him. And Fireman Sam said, he should be around any minute, guys. He always comes at the end of the shift. So Thomas and Percy were really excited. And here's Postman Pat now, said Peppa Pig. So Postman Pat gets out of the van. Where's your cat? Peppa said. Where's Jess? Jess is here as well. And Jess goes up and said, hey. Goes up to Fireman Sam. Because Jess really likes Fireman Sam. And then Postman Pat said, Thomas, I've got your special delivery here. Look what it is. Wow. It's a raspberry jelly to eat. How cool is that? And then Percy said, look Thomas, you're on the front. And Peppa and Fireman Sam couldn't believe that Thomas was on the front of the cover of the raspberry jelly mould. So Percy moves out of the way. So with a helping hand, the Thomas and Friends raspberry jelly is opened. Postman Pat said, wow, look how cool that is, Thomas. It's in the shape of you. So through the raspberry jelly, you could see Thomas's face. It's shaped exactly like Thomas's, which is loads of fun, and it tastes delicious. And you can see through it too, which is really cool. So Postman Pat said, come on Thomas, let's all eat it. I think it'd be a shame not to eat it all now. So Thomas and Percy jumps on top, Postman Pat, Fireman Sam, Jess and Peppa Pig all sat down to eat the raspberry jelly. Loads of fun. Peppa, George, Daddy and Mommy Pig were all in the front room and in the kitchen. When Peppa goes up to Daddy Pig and says, Daddy, can our friends stay over tonight? Can we have a sleepover? And Daddy said, who is it? And then George turns around and says, it's the bananas in pajamas. And then Daddy said, it's fine by me, but you'll have to ask Mommy Pig first and make sure it's okay with her. So Peppa rushes over to see Mommy Pig and says, Mommy, can the bananas in pajamas stay over tonight? We want to have a cool sleepover. And then George comes over, who is really excited, and says, thanks, Mommy. So Peppa goes upstairs and shouts out of the window, B1, B2. Mommy and Daddy Pig said you can stay over. So along came B1, who was really excited. He said, hey guys, can't wait to stay over tonight. Thanks, Mommy, Daddy Pig. Where's B2? George said. He was behind me. Here he is now. So B2 comes in, and B2 is more excited than B1. I said, oh guys, I can't wait to stay over tonight. We're going to have loads of fun. So Mommy Pig goes off to the kitchen along with Daddy Pig. So Peppa said to the bananas in pajamas, said, hey guys, what should we do? Where should we go? And where are we going to sleep? And George said, I got a cool idea. Why don't we go upstairs and play on the game that's on my floor, which is the train game. So with a helping hand, some of the furniture is moved to create space for the bananas in pajamas to sleep over. So the bananas and Peppa and George were all playing with the cool train set that's on Peppa's floor. And they were having loads of fun when Mommy and Daddy Pig calls to them and says, guys, it's time for bed now. And Peppa, George and Bananas have had loads of fun up until this point. So there we go, Mommy said. I've set out all your beds and I've made some cool blankets out of Play-Doh for you. So B2 gets into bed with a helping hand, of course, and places the Play-Doh blanket on top. And once B2 is in bed, who's next? It's B1. So it's B1's turn to go into bed now. As you can see, Mommy Pig has created these cool Play-Doh blankets to keep B1 and B2 warm. And then Peppa and George said, have we got Play-Doh blankets as well, Mommy? And then Daddy Pig said, yes, of course you have. So George jumps into the top bunk and said, who's going to put the blanket on me? So with a helping hand, the blanket is placed over George to keep him nice and warm for the night. And Peppa the pig was last to get into bed. So with a helping hand, Peppa gets into bed and the blanket is placed over the top. You have to have a cool blanket for the night, just to keep you nice and warm, said Mommy and Daddy Pig. So B1 and B2 said, good night, George, good night, Peppa. Then George said, good night, B1, B2. And Peppa said, good night, George, B1, B2. Have a great sleep. Peppa and George have come across this cool, so everyone went to sleep happy. And Peppa said, George, look at this. Do you think we should go in? And George was holding his little dinosaur, said, oh, I don't know. It looks kind of scary. But with a helping hand, the doors are opened. So first we open the bottom door. Then we open the middle door. Then we move up and we open the top door. Because Peppa and George are only small, they need a helping hand with these kind of things. So Peppa and George are really excited to explore the spaceship. So George said, look, Peppa, it's Thomas. Hey, Thomas, Peppa said. And Thomas said, what have you found, guys? Looks like a cool spaceship. Have you been in yet? And Peppa said, no, we haven't been in yet. We just opened the doors. So Thomas goes to have a little look. and said, "It looks really interesting, guys. I think we should go inside." And George still isn't sure whether he should go in or not. And Thomas said, "It'll be fine, guys. If Peppa drives, I'm sure we'll be safe." So George wants to go into the middle. So he's gone into the middle, and the middle looks like you could learn some stuff inside. It's got a cool ABC alphabet and numbers. George said to Peppa, "Peppa, it's really cool in here. Come and have a look." So the top door is opened, and Peppa jumps right in and sits on the seat and said, "Guys, this is looking fantastic. I can drive from up here." So close the door behind Peppa, and Peppa can still see out. And she goes, "Hey George, can you see me?" And George laughs and says, "Yes, I can see you. You're sticking your nose right out." So we close the door behind George. Peppa's still looking out. And now it's Thomas's turn. "Come on, Thomas, get in." So with a helping hand, Thomas gets in. And Thomas needs to go in on a funny little angle because he's too big. But he is a train after all. "So is everyone in?" Peppa said. And Thomas and George said, "Yeah, we're ready. Be careful." So with a helping hand, the spaceship takes off. "Come on, Peppa, go." So they have a little fly, and Peppa said, "Wow, this is amazing. How cool is this, guys? Maybe we should go and get Mommy and Daddy Pig and show them." And then Thomas said, "That's a great idea. Come down here, guys." So after the little trip, Thomas, George and Peppa had a really fun time in the little spaceship they found. It's amazing what fun you can have with things you find these days. Went outside, and he saw a load of cool surprise eggs. "Don't forget to subscribe." Just outside the camper. So Daddy Pig calls Mommy Pig over. So Mommy Pig comes over and said, "Wow, look at all these cool surprise eggs. We've got a Peppa Pig surprise egg, Percy surprise egg, Kinder surprise egg, and a Play-Doh surprise egg. I think we better call Peppa and George over." So Mommy Pig calls Peppa Pig, and Peppa said, "Wow, look at all these surprise eggs, Mommy. What a fantastic surprise. Let's get George in." So George comes over and said, "Wow, how cool are these? We can have 2 each, Peppa. Do you want to open one first?" "Which one do you want to open, Peppa?" said George. So Peppa chooses the Percy egg. So with a helping hand, we open the Percy egg. So what surprise will we get? "It's bound to be from Thomas and Friends," said George. So with a helping hand, the egg is opened, and we got Henry. "Wow, how cool is that?" said Peppa Pig. So Peppa jumps on Henry, just having some fun. So now it's George's turn. What egg will George pick? George wants to open the Peppa Pig surprise egg. So with a helping hand again, we open the Peppa Pig surprise egg. "What's going to be in there?" said Daddy Pig. "Wow, look at that. We've got a cool magnet, and it's got George on it," said Peppa. "It looks just like you. You just got a muddy puddle on you in the magnet," said Peppa Pig. We also get some sweets, so we'll put them in the camper. We get some stickers, and we also get a cool leaflet to show us what we could get in the surprise egg.
So go on now, George, pick another egg. So George picks the Kinder Surprise egg, because George loves the Kinder chocolate. So with a helping hand we open the Kinder Surprise egg. I wonder what surprise we'll get, said Mommy Pig. And Mommy Pig really likes the Kinder Surprise eggs. So wow, we've got a cool Hot Wheels car, and it's yellow. Peppa Pig loves yellow cars. What a cool surprise. So now it's Peppa Pig's turn to open the last and final surprise egg. Oh no, George fell off the yellow Hot Wheels car. There we go. What are you doing up there? Said Peppa. So now we'll open the last Play-Doh surprise egg. And Daddy Pig said, this is a special surprise for you, Peppa. You've wanted one of these for a long time. And it's a bike. So that means Peppa Pig's got a brand new bike to play with. Peppa just was too excited and jumps on top of the bike. Wow, look at all these cool surprises. So once Peppa's on the bike, she says, thanks Daddy and Mommy Pig, these are some of the coolest surprises ever. Mommy Pig said, we'll eat the chocolate later. And Peppa said, don't forget to subscribe.